This is Barrington Park, a homeowners association located in Taylorsville, Utah. It was rebuilt in early December, late November of 2011 due to defective decking material. The Trex was flaking, was replaced with new Trex. The workmanship was done by employees of the management company, none of which were qualified, and the management company is not licensed to do construction work.
Okay, go ahead.
The flashing material located against the outside wall and also underneath the Trex here was damaged severely, not allowing the Trex material to lay flat. So when the post was installed, the vinyl post installed, due to the slant of the Trex, the maintenance manager used flat washers to shim to make the post level, and then use screws to mount the post.
Yep.
Notice the Trex is slanting all the way down to the sliding doors. The Trex is damaged, or the flashing is damaged from the end all the way down, causing it to fail to lay flat. In the other corner of the deck, you can see the flashing material has been distorted and pulled away. You can see the paint spray on the lower part, the plain metal on the upper part. It's also distorted, and this piece of Trex is also not laying flat. As you can see, it's laying flat here, but there's a gap here due to damaged flashing material. Notice that the plane of this particular piece of vinyl is not in the same plane as the lower piece. Prior to the rebuild, it was in the same plane. On the Trex website on the internet, in a clip that is 1 minute 40 seconds long, the distance between the Trex pieces at 40 degrees Fahrenheit and warmer, the gap should be 1/4 inch. This drill bit is 1/4 inch. I was given to understand from the property manager that they didn't use a 1/4 inch spacing, they used a 10-penny nail. Notice that the screws mounted in the Trex appear to be rusty. They aren't rusty at all. The screws they use are a reddish brown, which causes them to appear rusty. Also notice that some of the screw heads have been stripped, making it nearly impossible to remove without drilling. The original construction, the inner lining of the vinyl post was bolted to the 2x underneath. When it was rebuilt in December, screws were used to mount the inner lining, resulting in this. Original construction, this particular railing was straight. Notice that it is at an angle now. The distance between the outer edge against the wall is this distance, and now slopes to this distance, and at the end, this distance. The same railing mounted here against the building, sloping to be here as well as the end. This is not the original configuration. It is unacceptable. These marks right here are a result of the maintenance manager slamming the lower rail against the post here numerous times with brute force and has caused these marks at this point. Notice also that there's a screw right here that's exposed, and it ought not to be. At the end of the rebuild, the crew left the deck and moved on to the next deck in the complex, indicating that the work had been completed. However, it was readily noticeable that it was not secure to the point that it was safe. Also, this post also was loose. Okay, now, also when the vinyl was replaced, it was extremely dirty and had marks on numerous places, such as these black marks right here. The source of those marks are unknown, but the vinyl had been placed on the ground for a number of days and had picked up a lot of dirt as well as marks that have not been removed. How the deck was left after it was allegedly rebuilt. On the 6th of February 2012, the management company placed tape, yellow tape, across the upper end of the staircase and the lower end of the staircase. The lower end had this sign on it. On the 10th of February 2012, 4 days after the tape appeared, I asked the manager when he was going to come back and have the deck rebuilt, repaired. He told me as soon as he had his difficulties with Taylorsville City resolved, he would repair the deck. Taylorsville City became involved because a building permit was not issued to rebuild a number of decks in the complex, and they caused the rebuild to cease until a building permit was obtained. This is now the 16th of September. The tape is deteriorated, but the sign is still here indicating that it's not to be used. A few days after the deck had allegedly been repaired and rebuilt in early December of 2011, I talked to the maintenance manager who came over and inspected the deck. And after he had inspected the deck, he told me that he would get the big boys to come and repair the deck. A few days later, I went and asked him who the big boys were, because I didn't understand at the time who they were, and he told me it would be a licensed contractor. I took him at his word. However, again, there was some difficulties because I informed him at the end of the conversation I didn't want his employees back on the deck. In April, he told the board of directors that the deck had not been repaired because I had not allowed his employees to enter upon the deck. The president of the board of directors turned the deck situation over to the Architecture Control Committee. Members of the committee came and inspected the deck. The chairman was escorted on the deck by the property manager and giving a tour of the condition of the deck. I was never consulted during this inspection period. In May, the Architecture Control Committee chairman informed the board that a unanimous decision was made by the Architecture Control Committee to have the employees of the management company repair the deck. There are 5 members of the committee. 3 cast a vote, reported as unanimous. 2 were not informed of a vote. I was reluctantly convinced to allow the management company's personnel on the deck to do the repairs in June of 2012. Seems that I have not been informed, because I have had to initiate all communication with the property manager. He's never initiated communication to me. It is alleged that he hadn't done anything about it from June through September because he feared that I would terminate the repair if they inflicted additional damage or failed to repair it to its original configuration, condition, and appearance. I've now consented to have his personnel come on the deck to repair it on advice of counsel and determine as to the satisfaction at the end of the repair. I will also, during the course of the repair, videotape and take still pictures of the process.